naked.
How were you born? Oh, everybody was born naked. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Highly Taken Podcast, episode number 20. New location, not unpacked yet. This is David Seabrook coming at you from Tallahassee, Florida.
Christian Smith coming at you from Townsend, Delaware. I remember where I was.
Still in Townsend. I love it. Nick Smith coming at you in Jacksonville.
Didn't hear
Did
it
it come
crack.
through?
Oh,
Man,
hold on,
I gotta
boys.
figure
I
it out.
forgot my drink.
Did you see in the last episode where it didn't go through? I just go. Kss.
Is that what I thought it was?
Yeah.
Like delayed.
No, I just went. Kss. I went. Kss.
But hey, I'm enjoying this bubbly.
Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
So guys, I gotta say, this was the craziest. We'll get right into the Dubs and Chugs results. This was
boy.
the craziest week that we've had yet.
Let's hear it.
And we all picked different games, like for the most part.
Yeah.
Like obviously two of us are picking the same one, but for tied for first place.
Tied.
With a total of 5. All three of us.
Wow.
All three of us were tied with 5.
It was the tiebreaker.
So it goes to a tiebreaker.
This is the first time we've ever had to really
I know.
implicate this tiebreaker.
Oh no!
So let me.
Oh no!
I'll. Do you want me to say our scores
No.
and then tell you the
Hold
final?
on.
Oh no!
Before
I know what the
you say
tiebreaker was,
anything-
and I know how
Before
it
you say
ended.
anything,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say shout out Nick for reminding me to pick a score this time because I almost didn't pick a score once again for our tiebreaker. I would have lost.
You would have been DQ.
But because of David's reaction, I feel like I might have won. So let's hear
So
about
let
it.
me-
I picked.
Let me get to it. So, tiebreaker game. I said the Astros would win 6-3. It was Astros Angels. I should preface
Mhm.
that. I said the Astros would win 6-3. Christian, you said the Astros would win 5-2.
Fuck.
David
Sorry.
David said the Angels would win 4-2. Do you want to know what the score was?
I know what the
So
score
hold
was.
on. Did the who won?
Do you? Yeah.
I
Final
yeah.
score was 9-8.
9.
Astros.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were up by 3. They were up by 3 going into the 9th, and they blew it. I remember because I got the notification. I followed the Angels because I'm a big Mike Trout fan, so I followed the Angels on the notification ticker.
Oh,
Dude,
nice.
I'm loving it. So I'm going to take that dub because I was the closest in the overall points, even though we both had it right with the wrong score. So I'm going to take this dub. I'm taking it. David, you take this L. I was so
Yeah.
I feel like there's an asterisk dub there for you. We both got a dub.
Listen, I'll
Because
take
it's
this
the
loss,
Astros?
and it's not going to help what I have to do later because I'm taking 2 losses today. I'll take this loss, but I'll say I got a winning record this week without doing any research. So you know what? I'll take that as a positive. I had 2 back-to-back losing record weeks, and you know what? I'm never doing research again for this podcast.
Dude,
We're doing top 10 running backs this week. Oh,
don't even
I'm
know.
throwing. You know who I'm going to throw in there this week? Freaking Peyton Hillis. Did he die?
No, he's alive.
Okay, okay.
That was fake. Just like the court on the Cobb kid. That whole controversy saying he died this past week. He didn't die.
The corn kid?
Yeah.
How would
Yeah.
he die?
Children of the Corn?
They said he got hit by a stray bullet, and I'm like, no way. And I looked it up, and apparently he had to take the TikTok and everyone be like, I'm still alive.
That's so sad. He's like a
He's-
little kid.
He's
Like
six.
5, 6 years old. That's so
Yeah.
bad. All right.
But yeah, David, let's see it, man.
They're cold. Hopefully they're not skunked though.
Oh, dude, you
That's
doing a
good
little
one.
chug?
Ah.
Nick, I mean, dude, it feels so good to be winners, man. You know what I mean? I only have 1 loss on the year, boys, so far. 20 episodes in. I figure we only do 10 results. So I mean, I've only lost once, dude. I'm all for it.
That one's straight to the head.
Oh,
You guys
I
suck
bet.
at picking baseball.
Especially-
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. I picked 6 correct this week. And you picked 6
We
correct.
picked 5 correct.
What's the tiebreaker?
Game.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. All right, so let's get to it, guys. We're finally getting some positional skilled players in football. I'm really gonna enjoy this. I feel like we're all gonna be kind of different on this one. So we're doing top 10 running backs going into 2023. So as always, Ladies first.
Ladies first, love it. Yeah, to start off this list, I'm gonna go with the now second-year running back, Brees Hall of the Jets. Look, injuries kind of came into play here and cut the guy's season short. What are we all laughing about? Damn it!
This is the way he's eating his wieners. Ask him about his wiener.
Oh, my fault. Wait. Maybe that's why. Hold on, I gotta adjust something. I had to pause. Okay, cool. My fault. We're good. All good. Anyways,
Right.
at number 10 spot, I have Brees Hall. I mean, his rookie season got cut short because of injuries, but when we did get to see him on the field, he showed that he possessed great speed, agility, and acceleration to make moves to shake the defenders off.
Who the
Make
hell
those...
eats a hot dog like that? It's not a corn on the cob. You savage, dude.
Jesus.
I will eat this wiener as much as I want, as I please.
You can
Yeah,
gobble
devour that
glizzy.
glizzy. Yeah.
Sorry, Christian. I couldn't.
It's all good. No, but I mean, I think he's going to be able to bounce back from his injury. And he's going to continue to show what he showed us before his injury this past season. And he's a guy that we're going to be talking about for another 2 to 3 years to come. Probably higher up on the list, in my opinion, as well, later on in his career. Number 9, I have Austin Eckler. And coming into this list, I thought Austin Eckler was disrespected, putting him this low inside of the top 10s. However, as I'm going through this list, I'm coming to realize that there's really only one guy that I have left on this list I'd put him over, maybe, and that's who I have coming in at the 8th spot. But Eckler is a great back in both the running and receiving game, and he's a huge part to that Chargers offense, even being as undersized as he is. But look, man, running back is just – you get them a dime a dozen. There's so many good ones. On top of that, there's, if you have a good line, you're going to have a good running back. Austin Eckler, he comes here, he knows how to play. But the rest of these guys on this list, man, I just don't know if I'm going to take Eckler over them. So coming in at number 8, and as I just noted, this is the only guy I would argue Eckler could go above. I'm going to have Aaron Jones. Now, this is a guy who is another great dual-set running back in the NFL. His production has gone down since his stellar 2020 season, but at the same time, the production as an offense in whole has slowed down under poor coaching and poor, play from everywhere else. But one way or another, this guy, he leads his team in rushing for the past 4 years now. He's been over 1,000-yard rusher, and he puts up over 500-600 yards receiving each year. He knows what he plays a very, very big role inside of that Green Bay offense. I'd be curious to see what it really looks like now that Rodgers is gone. The production in the offense, I think, is going to completely drop. But in that case in point, though, I think Aaron Jones will be a workhorse at the same time, and his production might even go up. Number 7, I'm going to throw up Tony Pollard.
No.
Yeah. This guy, sadly to say, is a stud, and he's provided a rushing attack for the Dallas Cowboys offense when they needed it most, and they couldn't find it inside of Ezekiel Elliott. On top of that, he's a great receiving back, and we've seen that this past year. I believe he had a game or two where he went over 100 yards receiving, and he had multiple games over 100 yards rushing. In my opinion, he was the clear-cut number 1 running back for Dallas coming into this season coming up, and that's what they decided to do, to franchise tag Pollard and let Zeke go. But some way or another, man, I think Pollard is a beast, and I have him at the 7th spot. That's all right, man. It happens.
7, though?
Number 6. Number 6. Give me Jonathan Taylor. Now, this might seem really low for you guys, but for me, I'm not that high of a believer on Jonathan Taylor. I know that's how it is. Look, he came in, right? Rookie season, bought out. Great.
Dude, my argument isn't him being a 6. My argument isn't that at all. It's him being on that list at all.
Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm a little wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyways, look, the injuries set him back this year. But we have seen what he is capable of, and we know that he can be a very dominant runner. My biggest thing here is I need to see him do it again. And once I see that, yeah, maybe there's a chance to argue that he could be a top 5 guy. I mean, you figure just 2 years ago, he was the league leading rusher, rookie of the year. Like, your guy, he's a good running back. He knows how to play ball. We just need to see another productive season out of him. And again, it was cut short this year because of injuries. I think Again, personally, like I said in the beginning of this, I'm not a high believer in him. I don't think he's going to bounce back and do great. But right now, at this point in time, I got them at the 6th spot. Coming in at number 5, and I hate to say it again, but at the 5 spot, I'm going to roll with Saquon Barkley. This is the heart and soul of the Giants offense, in my opinion. When Barkley is on, the whole team is usually on, except for Daniel Jones, because he's never on. He just produced another 1,000-yard season for the first time in a long time, it feels like, and he showed us, what we all remember Barkley as coming out of Penn State and his first year with the Giants. I think if he can, continue to stay healthy and continue to get rolling, he'll continue to be able to push this Giants offense up and above and get them to the playoffs, but continuously lose in the first round because, as I mentioned, Daniel Jones. Coming in at the number 4 spot, I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs here. Now, I know he just led the NFL in rushing this year, and he has shown over past years that he is a very, very reliable and good option at the position. However, it's not even really a knock to him. It's a knock to the 3 guys that I have above him are, in my opinion, the cream of the crop. Josh Jacobs was running for a contract year this past year. I believe he got his correct. Did he get his contract? Do you guys remember?
Nope. Josh Jacobs.
He's franchise tagged.
He got tagged? Okay. Okay.
And they're trying. Yeah. Both got franchise tag, and they both aren't showing up to camp right now because they won their contract.
You may want to turn your mic sensitivity up a bit, Nick. You're kind of quiet.
Turn it up.
But yeah, so Jacobs at the 4th spot. I mean, great season this past year. But again, I mean, honestly, I really don't have any knocks on the guy. I just think the 3 guys that I have in front of him are just better than him. Josh Jacobs is a great running back, but there's just 3 running backs, in my opinion, that are better than him. And so coming in at the number 3 spot, I'm going to go with Run CMC Christian McCaffrey. Now, this is probably one of the best, if not, at the 3 spot, one of the best, if not the best all-around running back we have seen in football in recent memory. And the guy can line up. Yep. This is a guy who can line up everywhere you want, all over the field. I mean, he can rush for 100. He can receive for 100. He can score you a touchdown through the run. He can score you a touchdown through the pass. Here's the problem with the guy. Even though we just seen he can play almost a full season, Christian McCaffrey can't stay healthy. Not even on top of that, though, but at the end of the day, we are talking about a running back position, a guy who runs the ball. And to my opinion, that's completely different. Or not different, but talking along those lines, you'll see. As I come into my one spot, you'll understand why.
Don't forget that he threw a passing touchdown last year too.
And let me
also put this in perspective for you, since you want to bring up the injury. The dude was literally the heart and soul of Carolina. Now he's in San Fran and doesn't have to play the entire time, and he's actually great. So that's why
great.
It should be higher than 3.
I mean, if you look at a lot of the people on this list, I mean, Derrick Henry missed some time for a couple of years. I mean, so did I'm pretty sure I think Chubb may miss some time as well. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor, obviously Saquon. So
that's just
I mean, look, at the end of the day, though, I still think when you're talking about the running back position, as someone, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain this.
No, you're good. You're good. You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't know how to. You'll kind of see as I'm coming into it. So into the 2 spot, I'm gonna go with Nick Chubb. This is a guy that, in my opinion, is the absolute heart and soul of that Cleveland offense that went and overpaid for Deshaun Watson and his massages. But one way or another, dude, this guy, I mean, since he's coming into the league, he's been consistent. And that's the biggest thing there for me is the consistency. He's always going for over 1,000 yards. He's always powering through defensive guys. He knows how to hit the holes. He's a power running back. And that's what I personally love in a running back is a power back. Someone who's going to hit the hole, run you over, and he doesn't even care about you. And that's what I love. That's the type of guy that he is. And like I said, I mean, even when Cleveland has nothing, they somehow manage to have a run game because Nick Chubb and that offensive line is just so good. They play so well, and he's just so consistent. And, I mean, it also helps when Kareem Hunt's backup running back. You have a good 1-2 combo there, but that won't be the case this year, and we'll see that. And at the number 1 spot, my boy, I love him. I don't think it should be argued, can be argued, but it will be argued. Derrick Henry at the 1 spot. I think he is the best running back in football without a question. This is the guy that he will run through anybody he chooses. He possesses incredible size, great speed, and an insane amount of power. He's getting older, so the production, I think, will start to take a toll here soon, but I don't think it's going to take one this year. I still, in my opinion, this is the best running back in the league. Just last year, he finished with over 1,000 yards. The year before that, he played in only 6 games, and until week 14, he was the league leading rusher.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was insane.
And so that was the year Taylor won Rookie of the Year. Like that was the year Jonathan Taylor won, and it took until week 14. You know what I mean? Like that in my head, I love that. I love a running back who is the heart and soul of a team. I don't think the team's really relatively that good, as we've seen. Cleveland's not that good. Tennessee's not that great. But when you're the heart and soul of the team as a running back with a position that's not valued anymore in the offense and is so easily replaceable and injury prone, but you can continuously produce and come in there and be like that scary guy and run that offense, that's what gives me that top spot. And that's what Henry and Chubb, I believe, are to their offenses.
I think the big thing, like you said, running backs are so interchangeable. Like you, with your top 5 guys, you can probably put them on any single offense and they would probably produce just as much. Do you have any honorable mentions before we move on?
I did have one.
Okay.
DeAndre Swift.
No.
Taylor Swift?
My honorable mention is going to be, and I think we're going to hear a lot more of him this year, Isaiah Pacheco from the Chiefs. He's not a top 10 guy. He's not a top 10 guy right now, but dude, he's quick. He's amazing. Best card I had in Madden this past season. Watch out for him, dude. He's a baller.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I knew once we started getting to these kind of positions that we'd maybe start differentiating on players. Christian, you and I only matched up on one player that we had the exact same spot, and that our lists are completely different.
I don't think we matched up at all.
And so I have a shock to start off at number 10.
Okay.
Number 10, I have Alvin Kamara. Now he has not put up the numbers he used to with Drew Brees and Sean Payton, but he's still one of the best dual threat backs in the league. He's flirted with some injuries in the past couple of years, but still has averaged 4 yards a carry with an all-right offensive line. He also had 8.6 yards per reception last year. He's no longer the top 5 back that he used to be in the league. And maybe, I think it's more of an offensive scheme's fault when you're trying to get Taysom Hill more touches than you are Alvin Kamara.
Easy.
I'm just saying. But he's still a top 10 in my book.
That was one of Nick's top 5 tight end right there, baby.
It'll be really interesting to see what he does in a new offense, what he does with Derek Carr at the helm. At number 9, I have Tony Pollard. The Cowboys and Sheriff Dak have a new head deputy with Pollard. Elliott is gone for now because he still hasn't signed with anyone, and rumors have it he may come back. Which wouldn't surprise me, but he has been Dallas's best back the last 3 seasons, I feel. They franchise tagged him, which is going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. With all the big contracts on that Dallas team, it's going to be interesting to see how they play him, how they pay him, and how he's going to do with them. The biggest thing for me is he's not that good in the red zone. And now that you have Elliott gone, it's going to be very interesting to see how he produces when he gets to those red zone downs. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, 1,007, and had 9 rushing touchdowns with 371 receiving yards and 3 reception touchdowns. He had 5.9 yards per carry, which was the highest in the NFL last year. You could ask why isn't he higher? He is also behind one of the best offensive lines in the league. For the past decade now, the Cowboys have been giving great running back seasons over and over.
It feels like for a lot longer than a decade, man.
I mean, you obviously have Evan Smith, but you have DeMarco Murray. You have, I think even McFadden was doing well with them.
Yeah, Darren McFadden was balling out over there.
So, I mean, Elliott, you saw how he was doing. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. They have been interchangeable backs for a decade now. Dallas may consider using the run game more. Hi, Brooklyn.
Hi, Brooklyn.
What'd it do?
No, I didn't touch the dishes with Scrub Daddy. But it'll be interesting.
Scrub you,
Daddy.
you,
I already said that. Scrub Daddy. But yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see they use him more in the run game, especially with Dak's turnover rate, whether or not they can push the ball more on him to get the ball away from Dak a bit more. At number 8, this is the only one Krishna had the same, was Aaron Jones. I think he's the most underrated back in all of the NFL and under talk. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact of, one, he's sharing the ball with A.J. Dillon, and 2, he had Aaron Rodgers with him last season. Rodgers, I put stunk it up. He didn't stink it up. However, I will say that I did say he was going to throw 11 picks last year, and I got flamed online for it. He threw 12. He threw 12. He rushed for 1,121 yards last year, 5.3 yards per carry, which was second behind Pollard. He was heavily involved in the pass game, too. He had 59 catches for 395 yards. He has a career, actually, 5.1 yards per carry, which is the 4th most in Super Bowl area in a career. The only thing that holds him back is having to split those carries with Dillon in the backfield. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does with Love in that new system. Will he have the same production? I don't know. They may start, loading the box a bit more to make Love pass the ball. At number 7, it's going to be high, but I have Saquon Barkley. I do think that he is back. He finally stayed healthy and showed the potential we saw in his first couple seasons. He rushed for a career-high 1,312 yards, which was 4th best in the league. And that was the most since which Giants running back on that Giants franchise?
Rondé Barber.
Tiki Barber.
Tiki Barber.
Rondé
Sorry, my fault.
2006.
Yeah, cornerback for the Bucs. I know. Fuck off.
But like Pollard, he is under franchise tag. And the Giants have already went full dive into Danny Dimes. So we'll see how that ends up next year when they have to try to actually pay him. Number 6, I have Jonathan Taylor. He missed 6 games last year, which hurt him.
Nah, we had the same spot on this one too, dude.
James Taylor. Okay, maybe we had 2. Oh, there we go. Or he did miss 6 games. He rushed for 841 yards, still while missing 6 games. He would have been well on his way to 1,000 yards if it wasn't for that. He had 4.5 yards to carry behind the offensive line, which, was either injured or was just not that good in general. He had Matt Ryan as a QB, and you saw his production dip from Matt Ryan to Carson Wentz. But it'll be interesting to see what he does this upcoming season. You have rookie Richardson up there who runs a lot, so maybe some read options will be implemented. But it may make it worse for him because maybe people are just going to be expecting the run 24/7. You go back to his 2021 year when he had over 1,000. I think it was 1,800 yards rushing and 18 touchdowns. Yeah. So we'll see if he gets back to that production. I don't know if he will, but it'll be interesting to see.
Here's the real question, though, about real quick, because you mentioned Anthony Richardson. Is he going to start week 1 or is Minshew starting week 1?
I think Minshew ends up starting week 1. I don't think there's any way you throw him out there.
Yeah, he knows the offense.
I agree.
You paid Minshew to at least start.
Dude, the sun is beating down right on me right now. But I don't think he starts because my biggest thing is, especially with a quarterback, I almost said running back. I mean, Richardson basically is, but especially as a quarterback that people weren't so high about, if he comes in way too early and does bad those first couple seasons, there goes the confidence. The whole entire fan base is gonna be like, okay, this guy sucks. Why did we draft him in the first place?
Yeah.
So I think it'd be way too early to just throw him out there and let him drown, if anything. Because what's going to end up happening is they're going to have a very, very basic scheme for him. And that scheme is just going to be run the ball, read option, and maybe some bubble screens or some short passes. And I don't think the offense is really set up for short pass offenses. So that'll be more interesting to see what they do with him. They picked him at number 3, so maybe they have an idea for him. At number 5, I have Austin Eckler. Eckler has led the league in touchdowns in the last 2 seasons. He's one of 7 backs to do that since the 1970 merger. He is the definition of dual threat running back. This is why I have him so high on this list. He's the second player in NFL history to have multiple years with 10+ rushing touchdowns and 5+ receiving touchdowns. Can you guys guess who the first one would be?
Brian Westbrook.
That's a good guess.
Jamal Charles.
So the answer is going to be Marshall Faulk.
Greatest show on turf, 99.
He had 107 catches last year. That is unreal. This is tied second all-time for a running back behind Christian McCaffrey. Now they also have Kellen Moore, who is now the play caller in LA, and that may actually boost up his production. He has a great line. He has a great quarterback. And basically, he just needs to want to play. And right now, that's going to be maybe the issue coming out is he may not want to play. He said he wants a contract. He said he wants to leave. So we're going to see whether or not he wants to keep staying in LA or not. At number 4, we have what we call Nick's penis, Nick Chubb, one of the most versatile backs in recent memories. He is speedy and he has amazing power. He's averaged 3.94 yards after contact per carry, which is the most since 2018. That's absolutely insane. He was second in tackle avoidance last year at 27.5%, only behind Damian Pierce. He was third in rushing yards with 1,525, fifth in yards per carry, and 12 rushing touchdowns last year. The only thing that may hurt him is the fact he's arguably behind one of the best offensive lines in football as well. But I'm not going to put that against him because I think he's a solid running back. We did see Hunt do kind of decent with the offensive line as well, but I do think Nick Chubb has talent like no other when it comes to best backs in this league. At number 3, I put Josh Jacobs. I realize not a lot of people may have him this high, especially you have Taylor, you have Chubb, you have Barkley, but Jacob proves day in, day out how valuable he is for that offense. Yeah. He led the league in rushing yards with over 1,600 yards. He rushed for 93 first downs. He had 4.9 yards a carry. He's also the most elusive back in the league. He avoided 103 tackles last year. He may have some efficiency issues. That may be the reason why people may think this is too high. He's not as efficient as the other backs before him. And it's going to be interesting to see how he does this year with Garoppolo. He is a good back when it comes to running game and passing game. Garoppolo is a facilitator type of offense. That's the type of offense he did run back with the Niners. So that may fit him a little bit more, but it's going to be interesting to see how Garoppolo does in that offense. You do have Devontae Adams to help open up the field just a bit for you, but Garoppolo doesn't necessarily have the arm talent, I feel, and that'll be interesting to see what they do. Again, another trend on this is he's also franchise tagged. So this year, again, something to look forward to next year. Who are they going to pay? Well, I don't know where that money's going to go. At number 2, I have the King, Derrick Henry.
Damn, okay.
He is arguably the best back in the league. Since 2019, he's had 3 1,500-yard seasons. I'm sorry, 3 1,500-yard, 10 rushing touchdown seasons. This includes a down year that he rushed for 1,538 yards last year. This is during a season where he had 3 different quarterbacks. He had 4.4 yards a carry, which was his 3rd worst in the career. He is still one of the best backs in football. He has extreme power, although, the Eagles kind of made him a non-factor last year. I just want to throw that in there. But what's going to be very interesting, as we'll talk about, I'm sure, later, Hopkins is going to be a Titan, apparently. Apparently, Hopkins is going to come to the Titans, and maybe that will help him out when it comes to loading the box. However, with your quarterback being the issue, who are you going to start? You want to start Dobbs? Or you want to start, Tannehill? You want to start Malik Jackson, who you just drafted as like a 2nd or 3rd round of the other year, but decided to get rid of him almost. So that'll be interesting to see as well. And at number 1, we have Christian McCaffrey, run CMC himself. He played for 2 teams last year, 3 different quarterbacks, and still produced tremendously. He was the only guy on a bad Panthers team and went to a stacked Niners team and was still the best option that they had. He is the best dual threat back in the league without question. He helped the Niners out, whether you know this or not. He helped the Niners out when it comes to scoring and when it comes to just winning. The Niners were 3-4 before he joined the team. After he joined the team, they were 10-0. They scored 20.7 points per game before McCaffrey got there. After he got there, 30.5 points per game. He rushed for 1,139 yards last year and 8 touchdowns and added 741 yards through the air with 5 touchdowns. And like Nick said, he threw for a touchdown. He was the most valuable person on that offense and the big reason this team was so successful, especially during multiple quarterback changes.
So here's one. I got a real question for you then with McCaffrey. All that success you just listed.
You're not going to get it in.
All of that.
Force it in.
What is about to cut off?
We have less than a minute, so if you want to save what you want to say for a little bit, we can.
I gotta call my mom, so I'll be like 2 seconds late into this next chat. My mom told me to call her. Mom told me to call her.
Keep that in. I'll be feeling it in a bit too.
So, David, you got a couple honorable mentions you want to throw in there?
Well, yeah, but I think Christian had some things to ask about McCaffrey first.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, to your point, pointing all that out about everything that he produced in that offense. Do you think Purdy's not as good as he has been portrayed by the media?
I think The reason why I don't think he's as good as portrayed by the media is because of how much talent he does have there. I mean, when you look at him having Debo, him having Ayuk, him having Kittle, him having, Christian McCaffrey and a great offensive
So Hurts
line.
wasn't good.
I don't think Hurts wasn't good, but I just think that Purdy was put in an offense that had already proven to show Garoppolo to be some sort of great quarterback. I mean, we didn't get to see much of Lance, so we don't have anything to prove there. But when you look at, people like him, people like who was the random guy who came in like last year, Nick something, I forget the
Mullins.
And Mullins was doing well with that team too. So it's really hard for me to sit here and say that Purdy was that good because of how well he did with the team that was that stacked. The difference that we saw is the only person we really added with the Eagles was AJ Brown, but we saw the jumps in the arm talent from Jalen Hurts last year to this year.
Yeah, but let's be honest, dude. Miles Sanders, nothing against him. He had a really good year, but he's not McCaffrey by any means.
No.
I mean, and what was it? They had the other guy that came back from injury later on in the year too. Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell too.
I mean, come on, man. That's a 1-2 punch right there.
I mean, nothing against Purdy. I mean, I think Purdy played the position well. Is we've seen a bunch of Niners quarterbacks play that position well, which is the reason why you see them always in the NFC Championship games the past decade.
I think it's more coaching and play calling than it is anything else.
It's Shanahan. Shanahan's a play caller there. He's a great play caller, but when it comes to postseason play calling, sometimes he can be a little shoddy, as we saw.
Yeah, the Niners. The Niners are the only team where the quarterback is in the most important position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
But so I do have my honorable mentions. At first, I'll put Dalvin Cook. I wanted to put him on the list, just being hurt so much. We haven't got really a full season from him, I feel like, in a while. Then I'm going to have the 4 last year rookies as my honorable mentions. Tremendous running back class we had last year. Yep. We had Breece Hall from the Jets, Kenneth Walker from the Seahawks, Damian Pierce from the Texans, and my favorite of the group, Brian Robinson, who is just a monster in Washington, I feel. I think they held him back a lot. And obviously, he got shot before the season started. But I hope they give him some more carries to prove himself more. All in all, I feel like it should be said, we'll say this more than once throughout the year, running backs are the most interchangeable position in the league. You have guys who play really well for one single year, and then the next year, they won't do anything. I mean, Peyton Hillis made the freaking Madden cover. So, I
would just like to know, you said 4 rookies and completely left out Pacheco in his rookie year last year, man. That's fucked up.
So no, because you already mentioned Pacheco. I already told you I love Pacheco.
Yeah, he didn't have to because of that.
I guess.
All right. No, so guys, mine's buckle up. You're gonna love this. Mine's
God, this is gonna be shitty.
Click it or ticket,
your guys, and you're gonna like my first one at number 10. And I felt like I had to put him on here. DeAndre Swift. He's home. Okay. He's finally home. He's got an offensive line that's going to help him along with Jalen Hurts. And DeAndre Swift can actually go out and run some screens too. So I look for DeAndre Swift to actually have a really good year this year behind a very good run defense. I mean, look what they did with Sanders. And again, Sanders is good, but I think DeAndre Swift's better than Sanders. And I really do. And DeAndre Swift's also playing for his home team. Hopefully Micah Parsons can do the same thing, but either way, I think DeAndre Swift deserves to be on this list. At number 9, I got Alvin Kamara. And the thing is, the injuries are a problem. He hasn't looked as good as he did in previous years. Last year he was hurt. He'd play one game, sit a game, play another game. It was crazy to be a fantasy owner and have Kamara as your player because you didn't know what was going to happen. But he's so good when he's on that field. I mean, he can go out there and, like you said, David, he's just dual threat. I mean, he can do it both. He can go out passing. He can go out running. He's just really, really good. Number 8, I got Kenneth Walker.
Okay.
And the reason when he was out there on that field, he made such a difference, man. It was unreal watching him out there play. He can do it all, but really his running game, he's not as big as, Henry and all them, but he can bulldoze some people over too. I mean, I saw it happen. He's good. He's going into his second year. I think they're going to rely heavy on him, in my opinion, because Geno Smith's not that good. He's not worth 30 million.
So
he's not worth 30 million.
That's what I don't want to segue into this.
No, you're good.
Geno has proven that, you know, he didn't want to write back or call back or whatever it was, but he's been bad and he had a great year last year. But how much of that is because he had a great back like Walker, he had Noah Fant, he had DK, he had Lockett. I don't want to. I know the offensive line. I don't know. The offensive line played a lot better with Geno than they did with Russell Wilson for some reason.
It's almost like they knew that they had to protect Geno, whereas Wilson would have ran out of the pocket and like.
I don't want to take anything from Geno because obviously the turnaround. I mean, we saw how bad he was with the Jets. That he played the great year that he did last year. I just think it may have been a fluke, but we'll see.
So and then this is where we're kind of on the same page too. At number 7, I got Aaron Jones. He's consistently good. And, you know, even if Rodgers is having a bad game, he's still going out there and having a good game. I think there was only a couple games that were awful for him, but he also, I think one of them he was hurt. And I just love seeing the fact that Duke can run a wheel route and go out there and just throw him a bomb and he's catching it. Like, I mean, I love seeing. Those are my favorite type of running backs to have on a team is that they can do it all and they can go out there and ball out. I know Christian likes his OG running
back ran through.
Yeah, no, but
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's good. And number 6, I got Saquon Barkley. You know, seeing what he did last year, he even played quarterback for a little bit, guys. Which is crazy. Yeah, Wildcat.
It's either him or Danny Jones. Pick your poison.
Yeah. $40 million. I think that's
you have to play Danny now.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, right.
But the thing is man, what's crazy is they were relying so heavy on him earlier in the season, and they had more success early in the season. Later on, they stopped going to him, and I don't know why.
Do you think they had him on like a pitch count? Do you think they were worried about injuries, putting too much workload on him?
But if you're on a pitch count, why wouldn't that pitch count be like earlier in the season and get him into it? Not heavy.
Yeah,
because it's the Giants? I don't know.
Yeah, they're stupid. The Giants front office is dumb. They're absolutely stupid. But Saquon Barkley is a unique talent. Nobody now you can. I think Nick Chubb might have a beat, but nobody could mess with those quads. Number 5. And I was really thrown off because when I was looking at PFF, your favorite
Pro Football Focus,
Pro Football Focus,
garbage.
They had Josh Jacobs number
poopy football
number
focus.
9 or something like that. And to be honest,
dude, no, they didn't. Josh Jacobs was 4 on Pro Football Focus going into this year. Yeah.
Are you sure? Because I didn't have. It was Austin Eckler. It was Austin Eckler.
Yeah, Eckler was 9.
But Josh Jacobs, man,
same place I had him on my list.
He was good. I can't argue with what he did.
No.
What he did. I mean, averaged over 4 yards a carry. They relied heavily on him later on when they found out that Derek Carr's really not that good. You know, and
Derek Carr's a baller. What are you talking about?
We'll see with the Saints.
Looks like Duncan off of Turtle Drum Island.
I nothing against Renfro and Adams. I think they're both really good, but I can't wait to see.
Adams is overhyped.
I can't wait to see what he really.
That's interesting.
Really, with a lot.
We'll talk about that next week.
He's not top 3.
Wow.
He's not top 3.
Number 4. I got probably the best dual threat running back in Austin Eckler. Dude's.
You think Eckler's better dual threat than McCaffrey?
I do.
Let him cook.
And it's nothing against I love McCaffrey, dude. McCaffrey is one of my favorite.
Wonder why.
But you know, Austin Eckler, he goes out there and he performs every single game. It seems like he's always going out there and putting up numbers. You know, always combining for 100 yards. You know, over 100 yards, really, which is unreal. It's not fair for. You know,
great fantasy numbers.
Exactly. I was about to say, you know, it could be your first pick if you're in the top 5.
Yeah, and if you want to join, you know, our fantasy league that we're gonna do,
hey,
there you go. Yeah, you have a chance to win $50.
Link in bio.
At number 3, I got Derrick Henry.
Ooh,
L L L
wow.
L L
Yeah.
L L L
I
take,
know you don't
bro.
like it. No, it's not. It's not.
That's an
I think you're
awful
going to see a
take.
huge dip in production this year. I think
Ah.
he's going to be hurt. They're going to be relying way too heavy on him. He's going to get hurt, and he's not going to be the same guy.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Christian. You want to say something?
I think it's my
I just want to say that when we first started this off with power rankings, like on one of our first episodes, and
Mhm,
we placed a bet, and I
mhm.
said I think Kyler Murray's gonna get hurt about week 3 or 4. You hopped on here and were like, "Bro, that's so fucked up.
No,
Why do you think he's gonna get
that
hurt?
was
Why
me.
do you think?"
That was
Yeah, that was
100
him.
because
How?
I was
Yeah,
about to just say I don't know how you can go and
don't
be like, oh, he's gonna get hurt in the middle of the season.
don't come
Like,
at me like that. I didn't say that. Uh,
Well, you just did.
I, no, I didn't say
Oh,
that
you
to
didn't tell it to
him.
him. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I got you.
yeah, yo, screw off, man.
Screw
The
on.
thing is the three that I have here are interchangeable. I mean, I could have really done 1A, 1B, and 1C and cheated like David did. Um, but I just think out of the three, he's my least favorite. At number 2, I got Christian McCaffrey. And he's my favorite running back to watch.
wow.
I mean, he can do it all. He can run, he can pass, he can catch.
Somebody really has been slobbing on Pro Football Focus.
Maybe he should go out there and try playing defense. He might go out there and get some interceptions. Who knows? But dude's such a baller. He can do it all. Like him there. I think you're gonna see a little more production out of him this year now that he knows fully about that offense. So I think he's gonna get a little more with the Niners, a little more playing time. But number 1, it's Nick Chubb.
Nick's Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Nick's Chubb.
I'm telling you, man, that guy, and even he was putting up numbers like every single season, and he's had Kareem Hunt there too, taking away some of the touches that, in my opinion, he should have had. And I don't know, man. Now he has Deshaun Watson for a full year. I think you're only going to see him be even better this year, barring any injury. I'm going to throw that out there. And I purposely kept Tony Pollard off this list, guys.
Yeah, I do. Just because we called you out for putting 2 Dallas people at number 1, so you had to keep him off this
Yeah.
list.
I had to.
We
Yeah.
see
You
the
have to
games
pick
you're
your
playing. We
poison.
see the games you're
Yeah.
playing.
And with that, I'll segue into my honorable mention.
Yeah,
Tony Pollard.
bring it in.
I mean, yes, he's behind one of the best lines in football, but you can't argue with the stats he was putting up. And they were splitting carries all year. He was splitting carries with Elliott. Elliott, trash, garbage.
Like smelly it.
He's so bad. I'm so glad that he can't be as cocky as he used to be. Hoo-hoo, because he's not going to be on the field.
That's why he's so chunky. He's like, all that cereal.
Yeah. But Tony
Yeah,
Pollard,
right.
man, I mean, kudos to you. You had a great year last year, and you deserve to be the number 1 guy there. But hey, it is what it is. But David, before we get any further, I really want to get into this, and then it's going to segue into what I want to talk about. Is what was your bet of the week?
Listen, I love Ricky Fowler. I said Ricky Fowler was going to win. Maybe I should have said Rory. But Ricky Fowler, did not win. Nick's not going to put him in the top 5. I don't even think he made the top 5.
He was top 10.
Yeah, I mean, he did really well. He just didn't do amazing. That being said, I have some nice blazing wings from my favorite restaurant, Buffalo Wild Wings. And so I will pleasure you guys with my torture, my tongue torture, and maybe even later my ballot torture. Maybe I'll send you guys a video after this. Did you see what's going on?
We agreed.
No. We said we couldn't show the poop.
Show pictures.
As long as you don't show the poop. I send you guys videos of
this
me
is
farting
very
all
this
the
is
time.
very
So it's great.
Very true. Very true.
This was a very true comment we had.
Found a loophole in this system.
It's the poop hole loophole.
But hey, since we're looking at that, and that was your bet of the week, it's going to segue into my.
Are they boneless?
I told him he could get boneless, so he can eat them faster.
Yeah.
What's up with us going soft on David, man? I don't like this.
Oh no, I don't know which one I'd rather have. I mean, that's pretty bad. David, you might want to eat. You
burn
might want to eat it
tradition
faster.
is yeah, bro. You really might want to eat it faster.
Like,
That burns gonna kick.
Ooh, just keep going. Just keep.
He's
going.
slowing down. He's slowing
You
down.
just
Oh
gotta
no.
go. You just gotta go for it, man.
I have a canker sore.
Oh no, you really?
That's awful.
Oh, that's even worse. Keep going. You're almost done. The pain is gonna suck, I will say. But that's gonna get us into subpar, man. This is the 151st British Open. Now it's called the Open. It is the oldest tournament in sports, and it's one of my favorite to watch. It is being played at Royal Liverpool. Quick trivia: do you know the last person to win the Claret Jug at Royal Liverpool?
Tiger Woods.
Rory.
And I think David probably looked this up. It was Rory back in 2014.
But Tiger Woods was the last person. Don't worry, Christian.
Yes, you were close. But you know, we're looking at pretty good temperatures going into this.
Yeah, we are. It's really hot.
Not like David, but I really hated this because I was trying to check the weather and everything like that. I freaking hate it. Either we need to change or they need to change. It's going to be an average of about 16 degrees Celsius for this tournament. I had to do the math. That's going to average out to be around 60 degrees, which is and it's going to be primarily dry. It's not going to be much rain.
Yep.
It looks like it's going to be a very good tournament. That's
how Nick likes it, primarily
just remember
dry.
the exchange rate is 9/5 times Celsius plus 32.
So yeah, I really had to pull out my math on this and figure that out. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. But guys, this field's packed. This field is absolutely packed. I will say what's crazy is Rory's the front runner, and I get it because he just won last week, and he's won at this place. But I don't think Rory's going to be the guy to get it done. My main guy, and I've probably said this way too many times, Victor Hovland. Victor Hovland, he needs to win a freaking major, and David needs some milk.
Yeah, and some Tums.
Watch out for Ricky Fowler too. He's finally coming back. He almost won one of the Claret Jugs back in the day, but unfortunately lost to Tiger Woods. Go figure. Poor guy.
That guy's pretty good.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That guy's pretty good. But
he's not bad.
I also like Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood's another one that you got to look out for. And of course, you have Scotty Scheffler. What's crazy is, you know, there's pop bunkers. You're going to get some trouble. Even the fescue is going to be pretty rough. But all around, that's really all you have to worry about. It's not going to be anything like any crazy things happening. Just, you know, keep the ball in play. So yeah, Hovland's going to be my guy. I'm going for. But I also like my boy Jordan Spieth. As always, that's my boy. Bring it home. David, do you have anything to say on this?
Yeah. So like you said, Rory's a favorite going in. However, he hasn't won a major in 9 years. And I think that continues here. I think Spieth will actually continue to struggle here. Like I'm struggling now. I'm actually crying right now. I think Fowler, who is tied for the third best odds to win, will play well. But my pick to win this week is Brooks Koepka.
Woo!
I have a top 5. My Brooks Koepka at number 1. Number 2 is my dark horse. I have Tyler Hatton. At number 3, I have Ricky Fowler. Then I have Rory, and then at number 5, I have Cameron Smith, and that's who I have as my top 5.
Cameron Smith is a great pick. And guys, if you're gonna put a bet out there, this is what Christian's gonna like. Cameron Smith is plus 1,500. Not a bad one to take. Not a bad one to
big
take.
Money. That's 10 into 150 right there, boys.
Yep. So not a bad one to take.
Math. Why couldn't you do that in school, Christian?
Because it's just like the episode of the Office when they were talking about salads or like pies. And what's his name? Kevin could do math when he was doing with pie, but it's like that with Christian and betting. he knows that because he bets so much. He knows those odds, but regular math, like if you were to ask him what 1,500 plus 1,300 would be, he wouldn't know that off the top of the head. Like he wouldn't know plus 1,500.
2,800.
Yeah, I coughed. Speaking up, you want a little segue there. The guy who plays Kevin in The Office is actually a really good golfer. So
he is. I think he's about he's a single digit handicap, I believe. I think he's a single digit handicap.
My tongue's handicapped right now.
Christian, you have anything you wanna throw in there? Do you have anyone you want to talk about? Who you got?
Yeah. Did you guys see Steph Curry had a hole-in-one?
Oh, you want to bring in that? He did have a hole-in-one, and he's a very good golfer. He's a scratch golfer, just so you know. That's
Okay.
up. You don't have anything to say about the British Open? You don't have any?
Oh, you want me to say something about the British Open?
Yeah.
They're gonna lose. British haven't won anything ever.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Dang right. They blew a 13 colony lead.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's so bad. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Oh.
So guys, we're gonna do this real quick, just a quick segment. We're gonna do our little power rankings going into it after the All-Star break for the MLB. Christian, you got any you want to bring in there?
I just want to make sure we were only rolling with top 5, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're wrong. Okay, cool. All right. Here's what I want to say real quick, because I was looking over this and deciding where I want my power rankings to be. Spots number 4, 3, 2, and 1. I feel maybe they can be interchanged, but in my opinion, these are the top 4 guys. The 5 spot, though, when I came to realize this, and I'm telling you all this so I can give you more reason why I picked this team specifically. But once you come into the 5 spot of power rankings in the MLB, a lot of the teams are clumped together. Once you get out of the top 4 best teams in ball, a lot of the teams that are still contending are all very close record-wise, very close in production-wise, all together. So at the 5 spot, I'm going to go with the Dodgers. And the whole reason I have them here is right now they are the leaders in their division, but this roster is insanely stacked. I mean, if they decide they all want to come to play, they have a roster that's as good as anyone else in baseball. The bats are there. I mean, Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts highlight that entire lineup. And those are 2 amazing hitters and great players to have in the field. I feel like, with all the money that they spent, they should be in the top 5 someplace. And as of right now, I'm going to have them at the 5. At the 4 spot, I'm going to roll with the Rangers. They continue to be hot. They've stayed hot all season, in my opinion, in a very surprising season. They don't have DeGrom for the rest of the year anymore, which I thought would have proven to be very, very difficult for them. But they continue to be able to manage and, have the bats make up for the missing pitching. I mean, this is a team that I think is going to be able to make a good playoff run. And, I mean, I don't know, dude. The team... Huh?
I said you make me hard.
Oh, thanks, baby.
With pain in his eyes.
At the 3 spot, I'm going to roll with the red hot Oreos. Yes, sir. The Orioles.
That's a good one.
I'm going to go with the Orioles at the 3 spot here, man. They've been playing a lot higher than I think any one of us expected. In my opinion, they're probably the biggest surprise to me in all of ball this year. I didn't see them being this good, and they are. I mean, 2nd place in their division, only behind the Rays, which, I mean, the Rays are top 2 team in ball. But it's all there. The pitching's starting to fall into place for them. The hitting has been there for them. Adley Rutschman's a great player for them. What's up, bro?
Baller.
Yeah, how many games back do you think they are of the Rays off the top of your head?
I want to say they're only 1 game back, aren't they?
They're exactly 1 game back. Exactly.
Yeah, right, exactly. So they're 1 game back. I mean, this is a team that could take the division from the Rays. And at the end of the day, about 3 weeks ago.
Hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. They're 1 game back. Tampa Bay has 60 wins. They have 57.
Yeah.
I know it's the amount of losses.
It's
the amount of games. It's the amount of games they've played. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Tim has a lot of closures. They play in the Dome Stadium, but
you get a half a game for like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
The way the games backs works are so stupid. I understand why, but it's so weird.
Yeah, but go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
Coming in at the 2 spot, obviously, the team we just said, it's going to be the Rays. I believe now they have the second best record in baseball, not the best record in baseball anymore. But one way or another, best record or not, this team is a very good team all around, every position. They play well on the field. They do well at the dish. The pitching's okay. They don't really seem to have too many weak spots. And I think they're poised 100% to make a deep playoff run. However, I don't think they'll make a deep playoff run. They'll be out in the first round.
Ooh.
And at the number one spot, as David brought it up about 4 weeks ago, this is 100% the best team in baseball. I'm going to have to go with, sadly, the Atlanta Braves. I mean, their pitching is immaculate right now. Their hitting's on fire. Ronald Acuna is one of the top 2 best players in baseball right now. I mean, this team's on fire. They're firing on all cylinders. They're way ahead.
Hey, let them cook, because come October, things change.
I know. Come October,
My
things
name's
change.
October.
Well, yeah. So I'd be curious to see how it goes. I mean, I don't know if the Braves are going to be able to make the good, long playoff run. I hope to God that they don't, but we'll see what happens. But one way or another, right now, they are the best team in ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty decent list. At number 5, though, I'll have the Texas Rangers. They're still one of the best hitting teams in ball. They lead the division by only 3 games now, but they still have the best run differential in MLB with a plus 159. They need to solidify pitching just a little bit, especially since DeGrom is gone. And they'd be a dangerous team after that. The reason to have them lower is because they are 5-5 in their last 10 games. And the next one at number 4, I have the Toronto Blue Jays. Wow. Another team with an amazing young bats. You just need more steady pitching to be a giant threat. They are 6 games back of the first into the best division in baseball. The reason they are higher than the Rangers is because they are 8-2 in the last 10 games. They are a young team who could be a problem within the next 3 to 5 years. They solidify goal positions and somehow keep their players. At number 3, this is going to be the surprising one. I have the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays were arguably the best team for for almost all of the first half of the season. They still boast an impressive plus 152 run differential. However, they've fallen off in the last month, which, is saying something. They were the first to 50 wins by a long shot, but they've slowed down. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games. You can argue they play tough opponents, sure, but to be the best, you got to beat the best. So if that's going to be the argument there, that's going to be the only issue. Number 2, I have the Baltimore Orioles. Woo. They may be the hottest team in baseball right now. They, unlike the Pirates, have proven the early season play was not a fluke. They have a young team that is exciting to watch. They are now only 1 game back of Tampa in the division, which is crazy to think about. They have won 8 straight games coming off of back-to-back sweeps against the Twins and the Marlins, 2 teams who aren't that shabby. They will need to survive the gauntlet division that they're in, where the Yankees see themselves in last place in the division, even though they're 50-44. So that's absolutely insane. Sorry, I have a lot of phlegm in my mouth right now. That's okay. Number 1 did not change from the last time we talked about it. The Atlanta Braves. I said last time they were the best team in baseball, and I think they have more than proved that in the last month or 2. They have the most wins in the league now. They are 3 games ahead of the best team in the entire majors, and they lead their division by 9.5 games, even when the second place team is 11 games over 500. They have some of the best bats combined with some nasty pitching options as well. They are going to be scary this postseason. And as much as it hurts me to say it, I do think the postseason goes through Atlanta this year. And they are the team to beat. So they better come and play. And of course, before Nick talks,
honorable mention.
I have some honorable mentions to talk about. The Dodgers and Giants are neck and neck in that division, both playing good baseball recently. Giants only 1.5 games back after the Corbin Carroll team has let us down. They have lost 4 straight games. And the Brewers are also looking good right now. They won the series against the Reds and now 2 games up in the NL Central and won 7 of their last 10.
I love it. So I'm going to do something a little different here, guys. I'm going to do my 1 through 4, and I'm going to save number 5 for last. So at number 4, I got the Rangers.
Put the Phillies at the 5 spot.
I got the Rangers. Simply put, they're one of the best hitting teams in baseball. If they can get their pitching going, I mean, they won the other day. What did they put up, 13 runs or something the other day?
I think that was the game we picked too.
Yeah. Like, and so they can hit. I mean, that's why they're a top 5 team right now. It's definitely not pitching. Pitching's awful. Plus they lost their ace for their entire year. At number 3, I have the O's. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. They had a miserable, start or in June. Their June wasn't great, but now July's hitting and they're just on fire. They're doing what the Phillies pretty much did in June and July. Love what the pitching's coming around, batting's coming around, and one of my favorite catchers on that team. Love him. He probably one of the better catchers in the AL. We'll say that.
He could arguably be the best catcher in the AL.
Could be. At number 2, and this has nothing against it because they're right there, only one game back from the Braves, so the best record in baseball is the Tampa Bay Rays. They were the best team, but they just fell apart. They fell apart, and they got swept. Thank goodness by the Phillies. What did they lose 2 out of 3 to the Royals? Which is
they didn't do well against the Royals.
Not good. Not gonna get it done, and that's why you're number 2 right now.
Yeah,
number 1.
I think they played the Braves too, and they lost that series against the Braves.
They lost the series 2 out of 3 there. Number 1. This one you definitely can't argue. There's no way you can argue. The Braves are the best team in baseball right now, all around, hitting, pitching, all of it, fielding. It's just unreal. Like, I don't know what they have going on there, but they're on fire, and I hope they lose that. I hope they lose that for sure. But like I said, I was gonna save number 5 for last. And Christian, you're right. It's the Phillies.
What?
They have the best record in baseball since June 1st. They're 23-9.
Okay.
They are absolutely on fire. The pitching is still a little iffy, but the starters are getting a little better. Once Ranger Suarez gets back to normal, I see them even better. Ranger Suarez is still not the guy that we're used to seeing. I mean, I saw he missed a routine pop-up right to him. He let a ball a couple times already go between his legs. I look for him to come around and finally get some fire lit under his ass and come out there and pitch.
Well, that's good timing right there.
That was great timing. Zach Wheeler is pitching great now. Nola's pitching great right now. Suarez is crazy enough the worst one right now. Walker's pitching great. So, and they're hitting. I mean, obviously they're going to hit. Schwarber, you're letting us down. You finally got your home run, but you're letting us down. But yeah, that's where I'm sitting on that. And you want to say honorable mention? I mean, I have to put the Dodgers up there. It's kind of hard not to put the Dodgers up there. They're one of the hotter teams too. It's just crazy. In all honesty, you could really have any honorable mention being anyone in the AL East right now. Every single one of them, worst record in baseball for that division is 50-44.
Yeah, I think it's tied between both the Red Sox.
Who's last place in that division? Oh, yeah, at least,
Yankees and Red Sox.
Red Sox, Yankees, Rays, Cardinals, or not Cardinals, fucking Orioles. Damn it. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So,
wrong bird team. Also,
crazy.
we use the F word.
Yeah, there's number 2, man. Come on now.
Actually, to be fair, I had number 1 today, so
Well, no, that was number 2 for him. So number 3 total.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I will.
Nick, you might as well just drop one now at this point.
Nah, I'm good.
We lost the rating.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. But that's gonna get us into our certified baller of the week.
Certified baller of the week. Who is calling me? Oh, I can't answer that.
Certified baller of the week is my
Nick.
spam caller.
Yeah, right. Nah, it's my roommate. Nah, my certified baller of the week, and I hate doing certified. I don't hate doing certified baller right now, but it's hard doing certified baller right now because you really can only choose, in my opinion, a lot of MLB guys unless some other crazy news breaks in the world of sports. But right now, though, one way or another, my certified baller of the week is going to be Rojas of the Phillies. Came up and made his MLB debut this year or this past week in the Bigs. And his first inning in the Bigs, he makes an amazing play in center field and also goes 3 from 4 from the dish. I'm not going to sit here and say the kid's going to be a future star or an all-star one day, but I know it has to feel great to be able to come out and on your first time ever on the biggest stage in the sport that you've grown up playing, to come out and not only produce but shine, go for 3 for 4, bat a 750 right there, and make a great play in the outfield and shoot for that double play. I know that feeling has to be amazing. Not everybody, does that with their very first time, and it's also hard. I would like Val to say to do in your very first time in a game. So shout out him. That's my certified baller for the week.
Good pick. You're muted.
Me?
Nick is.
Oh. Nick, you're muted.
He knows. Hold on.
Oh.
Should we just like?
David, you can go.
Yeah, I
You
can go
didn't have to wait for me.
Yeah, so obviously you guys know I have an honorable mention for my certified baller. And I'm going to start us off with a little story here. Sometimes you're dealt a rough hand in life. You have to work for everything you got. You're born into hardship, have a rough upbringing. But sometimes God gifts you with the best hand in life. You get born into an NBA All-Star family. You become the best shooter of all time with 4 rings to show. You have your own TV shows, sponsorship, shoes, and then you complete side quests. Stephen Curry is my certified baller. Stephen Curry is living the dream right now.
Love it.
He won the American Century Championship. He's the first active athlete to have won that in 23 years. He won it on a really nice eagle putt. It was from distance too. And not to mention, he got a hole-in-one in 152 par 3 on Saturday. Now, we all know he got some big money from this. He won $125,000, which we know he so desperately needed. He is a splash brother for a reason, and he is obviously my certified baller.
Nice.
I wish I could just be going out there and just like having 4 rings and then be like,
get terminal cancer, then you can make a wish.
I wish to live. Oh, okay.
That's crazy. So, guys, what do we got for our deflated baller? Christian, you got one real quick?
Yeah, I do. What, you don't have a certified?
No, you're the only one that's supposed to do a certified.
Yeah,
he has an honorable mention certified.
I have to. I'm the honorable mention guy.
My deflated baller of the week goes out to none other than the Padres bullpen as a whole. As a Philly fan, this makes me very happy. And as a baseball fan, it also makes me very happy to see it's not just my Phillies bullpen that blows leads.
Yeah, that's what's in.
That's what I was just, that's what's in. Yes, bro. Look, in a 4-game series against the Padres, or against the Phillies, the Padres came out and won one of them. I should mind you that the Padres led first in all 4 games. Not only to note that, but in 2 of the 4 games, and these are 2 of them that they lost, they led 3-0 at one point in the game. And then come in and your bullpen blows you at all just so you lose the series entirely on 3-1. I mean, it sucks, happens, but at the end of the day, go fuck yourself, San Diego.
I mean, yeah, you look more like Ron Jeremy than Ron Burgundy. But I will say, like, we may call them the Padres, but the Padres call the Phillies daddy because I just feel like
that's what's in.
That's what's in. I just feel like they can't win against the Phillies. I'm glad for it. Swing of their life. I feel like my time's
Philly going down to silver and brown. That's what's in.
Absolutely goofballs. So yeah,
and that's why I got things to clean up my anus infection. Anyways, what were we saying?
Why? That's why we shouldn't take breaks.
It's his rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah, right. My deflated baller. Sometimes you have to take accountability for your actions, and I will do that. While also taking Christian down with me. Christian and I are going to be the deflated ballers of the week for me. We were talking mad crap about Kyle Schwarber, saying that the team needs to get rid of him. He is doing nothing. The batting average is not worth the home runs. What does he do the next 3 days? 3 home runs in 3 games, in 2 days, really, and 7 RBIs in those games, including a walk-off sac fly. It is only 4 games out of the All-Star break, but since coming back from the break, he's 5-18, which is a 2.78 average, not too bad. However, he has striked out 6 times as well. He is now batting at .189, so maybe we'll see him slowly climb up to the Mendoza line.
189, is that what he's batting? Is that what
Yeah.
you said?
Even after all that,
Right.
he's batting 189. I still don't know if the strikeouts are worth not getting on a base, but he does have 25 homers, which is 6th best in the league this year. But he did shut us up this week. So I had us as our deflated ballers this week.
I
Fair enough.
absolutely
I can take that.
I love that you guys gave yourselves the deflated baller. I love
I
it.
gave us the deflated.
You should as you should. So my deflated baller of the week, and I love this pick, guys. Mine is the New York Giants.
Ooh.
You sign one of the dumbest contracts with Danny Jones, giving the dude $40 million a year, yet your franchise guy in Barkley wants to be signed to a deal, and the first deal, both deals were about 12.5 million a year annually. Yes, I know you guys are going to say, that's kind of high for a running back, but in my opinion, when that's your franchise guy that's been running your offense the entire time, and you can't come to a deal that works for him, and now he's arguing about sitting out. I mean, he's franchise tagged for this year, and they're trying to franchise tag him for next year. 22.2 million for the 2 seasons total. It's not. What are you doing, Giants? Like, without Saquon, who's gonna be a running back? You're screwed.
Yeah.
And literally, he tweeted today. Saquon tweeted today. It is what it is. Dude's pissed.
Yeah.
And you guys royally screwed the fucking pooch.
Yeah, we all use one today.
I had to.
No, I like that a lot. We've talked about it. For some reason, the Giants decided they wanted to pay Danny Dimes that much money. And we're really screwed over the whole entire quarterback market, because then, like, you saw Jalen Hurts and Lamar. We're like, wait a minute, like, he's been paid what now?
Yeah.
And so you decide you want to put your quarterback that high. I would understand quarterback's an important position, but Saquon was that guy for them. It made no sense for them to decide to pick Danny Dimes over that, because there's probably a bunch of other quarterbacks they could have got in free agency or even through the draft if they really wanted to, that they could have replaced him with, but they didn't.
Yep.
So I don't know
You probably could have paid less for Derek Carr, and I think Derek Carr is a better option than Daniel Jones.
I 100% agree. And Gettleman sucks. I mean, a lot of people say how much Gettleman needs to sell that team just because he's terrible at what he does. But I mean, if the Giants suffer, that's more joy for me.
Yeah.
Giants suffer all they want.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Love to see that.
Absolutely. So, Christian, last segment of the day, man. Hot take of the week. What you got?
My hot take of the week is, by the end of the week, the Philadelphia Phillies will be in sole possession of the number 1 spot of the wild card.
That's not really. That's not too hot, but I like it.
I was like, in division, they're going to make up a 10.5 games in 7 days.
It's a wild card spot. I mean, I guess it's not crazy hot, but right now they're not even in the playoffs. I mean, they're only 1 game out of sole possession from the 1 spot, but the 3 teams above them are all also fighting for that 1 spot. And right now, the Phillies are there in last place of the 4 teams, them and 3 others. So I think they make the dog. I wrote down too that they play the Brewers this next series. If you can win 2 out of 3, then you're instantly already into the 3 spot.
David, pick the Brewers to win every single game, please.
Well, they know it now. They know it now. They're not going to do it.
No, I like that, Christian. David, what do you got?
Yeah, so we'll do this one because we've been talking about it for like 3 weeks. I think Damian Lillard will be a member of the Miami Heat by the end of the week. The asking price is high. They want Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and a plethora of first-round picks. But I think the Heat feel they are in win-now mode. I feel like they will ruin their future for a chance at glory right now. Dame, Jimmy, and Bam would be a filthy big 3, and I feel like they would complement each other pretty well too.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I heard they're trying to make like some crazy deal where there's like 4 teams involved too. Like, it's unreal. Like, Sixers are involved, the Clippers are involved.
Maybe we can get Spoelstra.
Would y'all take Kawhi for Embiid?
No.
What about Kawhi for Harden?
We have Mo Bamba now. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's true. Mo Bamba. Now we can sing the song.
And I'm gonna okay.
But guys, one of my favorite sports to play, It's golf. So I'm gonna keep it in that. I'm gonna keep it in that. I say Victor Hovland will finish in the top 5 this week at the British Open. I know you're saying, wow, that's not too crazy, but top 5 in a major is really hard to do. So I got him going in the top 5. He plays phenomenal during majors. The dude needs one. This is one of my favorite guys to watch. The dude's always in a happy mood, always sunny in Philadelphia in that dude's mind.
I'm the trash man.
But I want to see him. I want to see him get there and get it done. But hey, that's it, guys. That's it.
That's what's in, boys.
That's what's in. And like we said, we do have a fantasy football league we want to do. At some point, we'll make the draft date, but you'll get $50 if you win. So that's a lot of change. That's 200 gumballs. That's a lot of gumballs.
Yeah, and we're doing a few different leagues too, guys. 12-team leagues. Love it. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and comment down there with your email, and we'll get you going.
We have merch. We have merch. If you were in Tampa or Miami, you could have had this, but instead you guys suck. You won't have that. We have merch in the merch shop. You want to subscribe? You want to do anything? Go to Christian's house and we'll give his address right now. You can go to Christian's house and say hi to him.
Yeah.
Look, little added bonus. Next 10 subscribers, you're also going to get a free subscription to all 3 of our OnlyFans as well. For the next 10 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button.
I have some gnarly feet pics for you guys. Don't worry.
Dude, I'm on Feet Finder, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, guys. We'll see you later on this week. Hey, enjoy the week.
Deuces.
Later.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Okay, that's the.
On the mic, spinning knowledge of flair. He breaks down the stats with a voice smooth like air. Christian's a funny guy, bringing laughter and joy. He got the jokes unlocked and no one can destroy. Needs the analyst, break down the X's and O's. He sees the game differently than nobody knows. Together unite, forming a podcast dream team, making waves in the industry, fulfilling their schemes. Highlight taking podcasts, we taking over the scene. We drop dubs and chugs, live in the sports dream. From hot takes to deep dive, it's a winning regime. Come join the hype, we not just blowing steam.